Game 5 of Weber Cup 13. Tommy Jones against a relative newbie.
3 strikes in a row apiece. It's going to be a 7-frame shootout between these two. Whoops.
Oh, no.
His maximum drops to 279. Time to put one over on Mr. 300, Tommy Jones.
Beautifully done. What a way to keep yourself focused. Come on, Stuart. No, leaves the ring in 10.
It's the 3rd strike in a row and he's still on for that 279.
It's been a proper game, this one. It's not over yet. There we go.
Pressure time on Stuart Williams. He needs 3 strikes or Team USA have won.
Oh, and he gets a bit of luck on the 10-pin.
He's very much under pressure. He knows it.
Oh, and he's gone for a clean for the strike.
Strike for a tie.
No. And his luck's run out straight through the head pin. Tommy Jones does what he's done so many times. He's closed the deal.
This is the 888 Poker Weber Cup 13. Team USA is in front, but Team Europe will be battling hard in this race to 17. With only 8 of 33 matches played, the party is just getting started. Yes, it is the world's most exciting team 10-pin event. 8 of the world's best players have gathered here in Barnsley with one aim, and that is to lift the Weber Cup. We are in session 2 at the moment, and so far honours even. Team Europe coming back after a disappointing first session really strongly. Very fired up they were as well. But the experience of Jones and Barnes winning the 2nd point in this session. Coming up next, a huge match. It's time to meet the players. Both of these players have already had 2 matches in this session, so this is your 3rd game in a row. How are the stamina levels, Tommy?
Well, I think it makes a big advantage for Stu and I that we get to keep bowling. You know, sometimes the breaks, they make it a little harder to get back loose again. So hopefully we have a good high-scoring match, and whoever bowls the best wins.
Yeah, Stuart, do you feel the same way? Nice to keep going?
Yeah, it's nice to keep going. I'm not so sure about the high-scoring match. I'd take winning 150 to 149. I think the main thing about this game is Europe have got to get a point on the board. So.
Absolutely. Well, Stuart, good luck. Just before you go, I want to ask you about a celebration we've seen from you in this session. We call it the machine gun celebration. That's got everyone fired up a little bit, hasn't it?
Well, Tommy pulled out his handgun, so I just wanted to show that my gun was bigger than his.
Stuart Williams, ladies and gentlemen, and Tommy Jones. Let's hand you straight over to our commentators, Cass and Simon.
Game 9 of Weber Cup 13. Stuart Williams for Team Europe versus Tommy Jones for Team USA. And 2 players really gunning for each other, I think it's fair to say. Are you ready for rematch of the century? They met in session 1, and my goodness me, it was fireworks. And we thought, Cass Edwards, we were going to get 2 300 games.
Well, we actually were at one stage, yes. It finished up 279 to Jones and 275 to Stuart. And there's the sort of stats that Stuart's been throwing. 10 strikes and a spare only in his singles games. So he's pretty locked and loaded, but not quite as much as this man. 11 strikes, 1 spare, no opens. The man that shoots 300 games for fun on this particular lane at Barnsley. Absolutely locked and loaded, and it's 2 guys locking horns yet again.
And it's going to be Williams to step up first. This Barnsley crowd will be right behind the man from Ellesmere Port. And Williams, on his return to this Team Europe Weber Cup team, has really given a great account of himself. I always think it's tough when you come in to replace such a popular player. Paul Moore, of course, the left-hander, making way for Williams. And you have to come in and you have to justify your selection, and he's more than done that. Now then, can he hold it together for what would be a vital point for Team Europe? So first ball of this encounter, through the head pin. Not a real problem. I know we're looking for strikes, but it's about staying clean. It's about making sure you get all 10 knocked down.
Simon, it was interesting that Stuart said in an interview that he wouldn't mind winning on a 150 to a 149 score. So he's really only interested in the point to win the match. Whether the 300 or something 279 comes along, so be it. But the point is the most important factor in the game. Another point on the board for Europe would tie it down to just 1 point difference.
And don't think anybody fancies bowling against Tommy Jones on this lane in this kind of form at the moment. The man from Simpsonville in South Carolina says his favourite karaoke track was would be "I Should Have Been a Cowboy," and that just about sums him up, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, the way he's been shooting at Stuart Williams recently, yes, indeed. But he's shot another strike. The man that's got 300 games on this lane, 2007, 2008 and 2009. He only managed 299 last year, and unfortunately he's only managed 279 so far in this tournament, but there's a long way to go.
Williams looking to get back on that strike track, and he does so. Got to find a way through the oil pattern that they lay down on the surface of the lane. And picking your way through that pattern is not easy, because it's an invisible bit of data that you're working with.
Yeah, and Simon, as we know, the bowling balls going down the lane actually move the oil left and right and carry it further down, so it goes longer distance. So the break point is possibly changing all the time or every couple of frames, especially when you've got two right-handers playing pretty much the same area of the lane. Maybe just coming off the oil pattern at a slightly different position, but the ball hopefully ending up in the 1-3 pocket for both players.
A ringing 10 for Tommy Jones. My goodness me, it's been a while since we've seen one of those.
Gosh, he can only spare. That's not perfect, is it? Wasn't a bad looking shot, actually, just the angle coming in behind the head pin. It's the reason for the 10 pin standing up, the high backswing, the great follow through. Just look at the rotation on this bowling ball. Almost perfect, but the 6 jumps around the 10, and there it stands.
Well, there aren't many certainties in 10 pin bowling, but one thing is for certain in this match: we're not going to get a maximum. Jones to bowl a spare, but he has had a bit of spare practice tidying up after Chris Barnes in the Scotch doubles, which Team USA won to make it 5-3. There is Chris Barnes, his doubles partner. They did well, actually, to bring that point home.
Chance now for Stu Williams to make a double here and take the lead. Very short format matches. It's just a one-game shootout between these two world-class players.
No.
Oh dear, oh dear. Short on speed, inside his mark, and the ball turned up high through the head pin. Leaves the 3, 4, 6 and the 7. Now this is it looks quite a complicated split, doesn't it? Just watch this ball turn up high. Breaks nothing up, but it is a makeable spare. Now he can get his ball to the right-hand side of the lane and hopefully chip that 3 pin across. Take the 2 on the left-hand side. Probably a 10-1 shot, and he'll need to give it a go.
This is tough. Oh, yes. Come on, Stuart Williams. He's made it. Absolutely superb. And I was just starting to get a little worried that the 150-149 comment was more of a prediction than a comment, but that's a super spare.
Just as I predicted him to do it, or explained how to do it. Look at this. This is pin perfect. Absolutely great looking spare. And that's the way to stay in the game. By picking up spares like that, it keeps you in the game.
It lifts you as well. You know, I know strikes are great, but occasionally if you can pull off a shot like that, it just buoys the whole team. And this Metrodome now buzzing. They've gone very, very quiet ahead of this Tommy Jones delivery, because they know that Jones has finally had a bit of pressure put on him. But he responds well.
Pressure, what pressure? Jones right in the pocket, shoots another strike.
This is looking like another Jones versus Williams classic here at the Barnsley Metrodome. Weber Cup 13 continues after the break.